All right, Grant, pre-show shenanigans. First of all, Merry Christmas to everybody. Last year I was stuck in a hotel for the military bowl. This year I'm thankfully not in a hotel, so that's a plus. But Grant, with it being Christmas, I wanted to embrace debate in a way that I don't think we have before. There are two ways we can go about this, Grant. We can either embrace debate over the best Christmas movie, or we can embrace debate over the best holiday
Christmas
tradition.
song. Oh,
Oh, that also
tradition.
works. We can also
Okay.
do song. Song works too.
I had
That
a
counts
feeling
as a
we're
tradition.
immediately going to songs.
Well, that see, I feel like we've done that before, though. I feel like it's
I
something we
have no
would have
idea.
done before.
Recently there's been one commercial going on,
Oh
happening a
no,
lot.
not the Coca-Cola commercial.
No, it might be. I'll be honest.
There's the
Whenever the
Amazon one.
commercials come on, that is when I go on my phone during a football game.
Yeah.
So I'm just hearing these commercials. I don't see them. I hear them though. And there's this one commercial going around where they play like Jingle Bell Rock for like half a second, then they're like too early, not time. Then they play it's like Thanksgiving setting, too
Oh,
early,
I don't
not
know if
time.
I've seen this
Then
commercial.
it's like, oh, so you're very tuned out during the commercials, I could tell. So it starts off with that. Then it's like, uh, what? Hmm, maybe it's not Thanksgiving. I think the first scene starts at Halloween, too early, very early. Then it's Thanksgiving, too early, not yet. Then it's like Christmas Eve, and then they could play Jingle Bell Rock again. But I do think Jingle Bell Rock is the most recognizable, like classic Christmas song.
Classic is the key word there because most recognizable that goes to one
Yeah,
person
yeah,
or one
yeah. Of
person
course,
only.
the biggest
But
cheat code in the history of
it's
the
called money
world.
printing. Yeah,
Mariah
no,
Carey,
I also would just like to
congratulations.
say, hey, I want to give a little round of applause for all store workers for making it through another holiday season because it starts in September, Grant. Jingle
Oh
Bell
yeah.
starts getting played in Target in September.
I also was. I saw a video. It's somebody on Black Friday going to a Best Buy, and there's maybe 6 people in the store. Black Friday
On
shopping
Black
is all just
Friday.
online. It's all just online now.
We need to bring back the true, like, I want to see, it's like when you're going to Jerry's World and all the Cowboys fans storm in there, they're elbowing each other and shit. I need fist fights getting over the last TV in Best Buy. Like, that needs to come back.
Yeah, I think
That's a holiday tradition.
we may be past that phase in American society. Black Friday, the fights. I mean, South Park, they summed it up perfectly with
Yeah,
their
that's
like
true.
Black Friday, like they turned into like World of Warcraft. It was like they just made this like mythical like creature that you have to slay Black Friday. Yeah, we're never getting that again. But if we're going to talk Christmas traditions, songs, movies, yada yada, songs, it's Jingle Bell Rock. That is the classic
Classic.
Christmas
It's the
song.
classic.
If we're talking popular Christmas songs, it's obviously Mariah Carey.
I do want to throw out Ariana Grande in there, though. Santa Tell Me, Santa Baby, whichever one it's called. That's an
Yeah, that's a
absolute
you. That only
icon.
half of
That's
this
just a me.
podcast can agree on that one. I believe that's straight
Whoa,
garbage. But
really?
yeah, no, I'm not trying to listen to Ariana Grande just break glass, just singing random. No, I'm good. I'm
This
all
is
right.
okay. All
Uh,
right. I mean,
but
we can agree to disagree.
in terms of like Christmas songs, I think right now I'm seeing a lot on TikTok. So many George Michael's Last Christmas going around. And I think when it comes to
That's also a
that
classic,
song,
though. That's also
it
a classic.
it hits like for the first like 3 times. The fourth time you hear Last Christmas, Everett, we're done with it. The fifth time you hear it, you delete it off the Spotify. The sixth time you hear it, you are now muting the term Last Christmas on your Twitter. The seventh time you hear it, keep in mind, these are all within the span of 30 minutes. The seventh time you hear it, you're now like, oh my
And
God,
people wonder why
I'm now rooting for the
retail
Christmas
workers
time
hate.
is here. You're now rooting to hear that shit. It
Hey,
is
it is
just
great. Hey, that's a Peanuts classic right there. All right,
no. I
that's
was literally
the
thinking
opener for
Charlie Brown. No, like,
great.
but but I say that in a slight negative tone just because like when you hear that song, that's like the last moment of Christmas. It's like 11:50
Yeah, no, that's
p.m.
like you're
on
literally the
Christmas Eve,
first time I ever hear that song, typically during Christmas time, is when I'm watching the Peanuts movie,
and you're like
Christmas
about
movie.
to go to bed.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I'm waiting for Santa Claus. Like it's the last thing I do before Santa Claus shows up. All right.
No, yeah, I would say objectively speaking, though, not Christmas Eve, Christmas night. When you're about to go to sleep on Christmas night, you're then kind of sitting there, just like, damn.
Hey, I do
On
also. Hey,
your way.
can we shout out Michael Bublé though? Michael Bublé's
Oh
got
yes,
some great bangers for
I will
Christmas songs.
never tolerate any Buble slander on this
No Bublé
podcast.
slander.
There will be
Mm-mm.
no Buble slander on this one.
Absolutely not.
I will stick my shoe in the mud for Buble when it comes to Christmas songs. Yeah, no, that them two. Yeah,
Frank Sinatra?
I guess by nature, yes.
By nature, yeah, that's in
By
there.
nature, he gets it. Yeah. Interesting time. Interesting time that we're going
Yeah.
through. Okay, Christmas movies though. Uh,
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Let's start there.
Once again, I've never seen Die Hard, so I cannot
Okay.
exactly comment on it. But it
Okay.
appears to me that Die Hard
From the
is
outside
a
looking in as the Christmas
Christmas
movie.
movie because it takes place on Christmas. If it
Okay.
took place in July, there would be zero Christmas themes at all. Am I wrong or am I right?
I would say you're right.
Okay. So yeah,
So
it's like
therefore, a
this. In
Christmas
my
movie.
mind, the interview with Franco Rogan about Kim
Yeah.
Jong Un, that's a Christmas movie in my eyes because I watched it on Christmas when it was released. Does it have any
Because you
Christmas
watched
theme?
it on Christmas.
No, none at all. But I will associate the interview as being
Just
a
for the
Christmas
sole
movie.
fact that I think I watched it when I don't think I watched it
It was
on
like
Christmas. I think I watched it
2015 Christmas Eve.
I think I watched it on New Year's. I think I watched it
Yeah,
like
that
the
adds up.
29th. So a little bit late for me, but if I watched it on Christmas, it might be different.
Yeah, no, but if we're going off those movies, it is kind of a cop out to just put the movie to have it take place on Christmas,
Yeah.
and then you just get a cop out. It's like
So here's my question for
Harry
you.
Potter.
The first Harry Potter movie is that
has a Christmas scene, and so people are like, "It's a Christmas movie." No, it isn't. There's one scene.
One scene.
In
One.
in each movie, albeit it is in every movie, but there's like one moment in every Hogwarts Harry Potter movie where like they're in the dining room and the snow's happening. That's
or they're
the
like
only
opening
Christmas.
presents. The opening, like I think in 5 they're opening gifts at the Weasley's house, and the first one is just Ron and Harry just booling by themselves in Hogwarts.
Well, that's true, but the only reason that they have it on Christmas is so it's like, oh, it's a happy moment, and then boom, Voldemort, Death Eaters, bang, bang, not happy. Suck it. That like
we have 5 minutes of hey,
it's
you know
got
what?
nothing to do with
Hey,
Christmas.
I will respect Voldemort for you know what? They took a timeout. There was a timeout though for Christmas. He was like, hey, Jesus, the one guy that even wizards are like, hey, that guy's a wizard. All right, that guy's doing some crazy stuff. We gotta respect the moment.
There's a chance. I'll have to rewatch. I don't believe an attack occurred on Christmas Day. That just
might have to go back through the film there.
The World War One allies,
the German
it was Christmas Day, and they were like, let's just play a nice game of American football. But I definitely wasn't American. They played.
It was like in the snow. Yeah, it was in the snow. Whatever.
What else? Yeah. What else could they have played? It was 100% soccer. Yeah. No, it makes you think of that. Makes you think of the good times. Let the good times roll, everybody. But no, Harry Potter, not a Christmas movie.
Not a Christmas movie.
Home Alone is kind of another movie where it happens on Christmas, but it's not
more
really
Christmassy
movie.
Stuff. Generally speaking,
it's a very big theme in their visit. They're about to get on the plane for their winter break,
and they come back, and it's just kind of more of a homey. Like he goes to church and all that. So he's got that whole.
Yeah, it's a little more prevalent. There's more for that movie.
There, yeah,
I forget if it's Home Alone. I heard this recently. I haven't rewatched Home Alone in a while, but there was someone rewatching Home Alone 2, like with his kids, and
that's
being
the
like,
New York one.
yo, this movie's violent. Like this movie is pretty wild. Like Home Alone 2 is not
Yeah,
Home
that's the
Alone
one in the
1.
hotel, I'm pretty sure.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I'll be honest though. Marvin from Home Alone, the guy with the robber with the
Yes.
beard,
Yes. Yeah.
iconic, iconic. Every kid knows Marv from Home Alone. But yeah, I think that's gonna.
I'm just gonna lobby this one thing out. You can disagree or agree with me. Christmas Vacation might be the best Christmas overall movie. Might be a hot take. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh yeah, I'm just not a movie guy. I
Not
legitimately no idea what you're talking about right now. Zero clue.
This is why he watched The Interview on Christmas, everybody. That would
Christmas
explain
movie. It came out on Christmas. Christmas movie. That's how we do this, right?
Yeah.
Die Hard Christmas movie.
I didn't say Die Hard was a Christmas movie.
No, this is how it works.
I guess that's how the world works. Yeah.
If there's any
by grand standards for you, only you, The Interview.
If there's any scene in the movie that references Christmas, it's a Christmas movie. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. I'm gonna find one line in Star Wars where they reference Christmas movie. Revenge of the Sith. Best Christmas movie of all time. Mary Sith. Wait, let me. Mary Sithmas, folks. Mary Sithmas.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'll be honest. For this one, I guess it's a ugly holiday sweater. This is fire.
That is
fire.
You would take that to an ugly Christmas sweater party, and
it's arguably so good. I could rep this in like April. That's how good it is.
If you went to an ugly Christmas party, like sweater Christmas party, and you wore that, all the guys
I'd get kicked out.
Yeah,
they're like, dude, what the hell? You look good.
all the dudes would like dap you up, and then like the people running would be like, no, you got to change. Like,
put on the gross. Damn it! What?
Did you see
the Argyle sweater? Put it on.
Did you see the cleats that one of the Eagles players were wearing for the game yesterday? He had Grinch cleats with like actual hair coming off the sides of the cleats.
I'll be honest. I like how they get festive for the pre.
No, I do too. But I was kind of thinking about like that
so
design
where they have to do that.
Like, kind of like you've got like the hair coming off like the sweater a little bit. By the way, those cleats have to be so nasty at the end of that game. Oh my god!
I don't know how. Like the fact that they could even get through practice wearing those like pregame warm-ups.
Somebody steps on those extra hairs, you're going down. Yeah, and it's gonna just be muddy and like. Ooh.
We're getting very off top. We'll get to the episode right after this, but that immediately made me think of when Lonzo Ball was talking about his first year on the Lakers. He had to wear his big baller brand shoes, and he'd have to change them after every quarter because they'd be ripping. I know those Grinch cleats. Like after that practice, the soles like inside the shoe were just worn out. Absolutely gone.
I am going to be very disappointed if I don't see about 80% of the NBA repping the Mamba Grinch shoes. I'm going to be very disappointed.
Yeah, I got this debate also the other day, but the Kobe shoes are just so good. So good.
Who were you debating with that said they worked?
Well, so I'm not a big sneaker guy. I was just asking, like, all right, top 5 to a sneakerhead. I'm like, top 5 most iconic basketball shoes. And they had one of the Kobe's on there. I forget which one, but it's the sickest one. It's the one that we're all thinking about. And he was just going down the line of how like the Jordan brand, they're on like Jordan 47. They still make a new Jordan shoe every year. No one buys them. They're still stuck on the 13s as the goated one, but those keep coming out. And it had me thinking, because today Nike still sells like the Kobe 5s. Yeah. But like, because that's the popular one. But my question was, how long will those last? And it's like at minimum until our generation who saw Kobe, until we are literally gone in 100 years from now, Kobe's will still be sold.
I mean, yeah, I don't even know the Jordan brand. Like, it's asking when the Jordan brand's going to die. Like it probably, it's not.
Never.
It won't.
Yeah. Like that thing's going to last forever.
Like, I mean, the difference is if
We're
like
not that far away from the NBA logo just getting changed to the Jordan logo, and Jordan's just like the official sponsor.
that. Hey, people forget there was legitimate conversations about it. The NBA logo becoming the Kobe Bryant fadeaway shot,
Oh, I
which
do remember this.
would be clean.
Do
I
it.
think I think the
Yeah,
Bryant family was like, no, we don't want that.
no, yeah,
But
yeah. They I'm pretty sure they blocked that. But yeah, I mean, if you're just thinking about just sports logos, well, I just realized the NFL, they do not have a player on there. I guess NFL Players Association has like an outline of someone
they
throwing a
do.
football.
Yeah,
That
but
doesn't count though. But like
I'll be honest,
MLB
the
and
NFL
NBA.
logo is so iconic
No,
though.
no, no,
Like
don't
you
change it.
don't need.
I'm not saying change it. That's not what I meant to say. But the NBA logo is iconic. But I bet if you ask the average person who's on the NBA logo, they would not say the best character in Showtime Lakers. They would probably say like, is that like Jason Kidd? They don't even know who
No,
that
not
is.
even Jason Kidd. They don't
I'm
know who
sorry.
that
They
is.
have no idea who that is.
Jason Kidd, the coach. Have you ever seen those memes where they're like saying like whatever, and the
Oh,
guy's
yes.
like, "Oh, yeah, Jason Kidd, the head coach."
Yeah, no. Literally, like when people realize that, I don't know. I think what would be the best example of a current coach that was a play? Well, this isn't the best one, but the pictures of Kirby Smart when he was a safety at Georgia, just coming up and laying the hit stick. It's like, all
Willie
right.
Fritz. Willie Fritz.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's the greatest college. Was that high school or college?
College.
Okay.
College.
Okay.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought that was, I just realized the greatest high school picture ever taken was Dan Campbell, not when he was on the football team, when he was on the basketball team in high school, just alphaing his own coaches.
I'm gonna be honest. That might be the best show of strength in a high school picture. The best high school picture is The Rock with the fanny pack and the turtleneck and his arm on the
Oh
side.
my goodness. Yeah.
He was in high
That's the
school
most
for that.
iconic high school picture ever.
Yeah.
Every single Halloween, there's at least 2 Dwayne The Rock Johnson fanny packs every Halloween.
Halloween.
You'll see at least 2. Yeah. All right. That'll do the pre-show. Yeah. Just to sum everything up real quick. Last Christmas, only good on like the first 3 listens. Jingle Bell Rock, the #1 Christmas song. No Michael Bublé slander. Die Hard is a Christmas movie by nature.
So is The Interview.
On Christmas. The Interview is it came out on Christmas. It is. No, yeah, that's it. That's it. There's nothing else.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody. What a pre-show, but without further ado, big time episode coming. Big time episode out of me coming. Without further ado, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a very special episode of the Waterboy podcast. Today's episode 282, and it is the Waterboy Christmas special, the first round of the college football playoff wrapped. We had an electric weekend of NFL football, and Walker Buehler is now a Boston Red Sox. So yeah, what a morning, what a Monday.
Yeah, Deontay Johnson is also now a Houston Texan, by the way. Breaking news on that one.
That's
just
disregard up well.
Disregard his time on the Ravens. Just think about when he was the wide receiver 1 for the Panthers for the first 5 weeks.
Yeah, it makes you think. Was he even on the Ravens? Did he even go to a practice in Baltimore?
2 catches, 2 targets, 1 catch, I believe.
Sounds about
he was
right.
my starting wide receiver in fantasy for the first 5 weeks, and then he got traded. And you're like, no, this is a good thing, Everett. This is a good thing. Don't worry about it. This is a good thing. He's been on my bench for the last nine weeks.
That could be a slight issue, but yeah.
But okay. I mean, do you want to start with the NFL? Or do you want to start with college football?
We get started.
It is a short week for both, so we kind of do need to preview stuff. NFL wise,
we can start off with NFL. I might have to dial the clock back a little bit to Thursday night last week, but oh my god, what? It was like the first time in years that the Chargers came back in the second half and won a game. I was like, what is going on? That first half, Broncos, the Broncos offense just waltzing down, just walking down the field. We could not get off the field to save our life in that first half. I was like, do we need to give Connor Stallions a call? Like, is Minter screwed without his cheater? Like, what is going on right now? Things got sorted out. Second half started going our way. Herbert's making nice throws over to
yeah, and hey, that was a huge game playoff implication wise. By the way,
Massive. If Chargers lose that game, we're kind of locked
but
into playing Buffalo wild card round.
but also, so here, this is the one thing that I wanted to mention regarding the playoff scenario in the future. Grant, that win, the win that the Chargers had, now means they can clinch. The Chargers clinch a playoff berth with a win versus the Patriots this week.
Yeah.
After that, that now means the Broncos play the Bengals this week, Grant. The Broncos can clinch a playoff spot by beating the Bengals. The Bengals, if they win, can knock the Broncos out of the playoffs if they win in week 18. So if they win this week, they control their own destiny for the playoffs, which would also be, I believe, the first time a team has gone 3-5 or whatever and made the playoffs. Maybe ever, but just a huge week now for the Broncos for the AFC because the fact that you came back in that game and did the unthinkable and did not charger yourselves. So a little bit of a round of
refreshing. It is. I like in terms of my Chargers fandom. I'm just like, oh shit, they're winning. Okay, I'm not expecting anything in the playoffs. Whoever the Chargers play, whether it's
hey, J.K. Dobbins is designated to return right now. He's coming back this week.
True. This team just.
I will say though, if I were you,
we don't
guys,
have an offense. I know JK's back, but there is no offense.
If I were you, I would it's pretty selfish. Would much rather play the Chiefs than the Bills. But I think you could legitimately have a shot of being the Chiefs if that ends up being the game.
I thought you were about to say the Bills. I was about to say
no, not Buffalo. Not Buffalo. Not Buffalo. Not Buffalo.
Oh, hell no.
The teams that I could see beating Buffalo right now would probably be the Chiefs, the Ravens.
I think that's it.
I would say maybe the Bengals if they get in. I know you were thinking I was going to say the Steelers, but
yeah, no, I thought you were about to say that. I'd be like, oh, buddy, no.
Defensively, maybe, but offensively, no. But the Bengals maybe
they need TJ and they need Porter.
The Bengals offensively, I'm just thinking that offense is just so.
Yeah, if you put the Bengals offense with the Chiefs defense, my goodness. But yeah, it's just
Bengals offense with the Bengals defense though. Ooh.
Oh yeah. It is a disaster. For the Bengals, for their defense to have success, they have to play with a lead. They have to be up multiple scores, force the other team.
I will say
passing situations. The Hendrickson's been great.
The Patriots have shown. They showed this past week that you can dampen the Bills' offense. There was a sizable moment in that game where I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I did
not win this game.
I didn't exactly see what the game plan was for the Bills, but if I were to guess, one way to shut them down with Patriots, you have a lockdown corner in Gonzalez. It sounds crazy, but if you just take Khalil Shakir out of the game, the Bills offense doesn't really do much.
Yeah, they actually went through James Cook.
I know it's Khalil Shakir. I know everyone, but he's really important.
Well, hey, they do have Amari Cooper now.
No, I know, but you would let him get his one-on-one,
which is the crazier part of it.
It's crazy that I just said that sentence out loud, and I know I'm right on that.
Actually, vomit in your mouth while saying it. Yeah,
Khalil Shakir has to have his good situations for the Bills' offense to be rolling. If you can just take him out of the game, their offense is little stagnant. So. Yeah, and also divisional game. Got to throw everything out the window. So there's also that aspect too.
True.
But yeah, that game was interesting. That one was interesting. I had a slight feeling that I believe Bills were 13.5 point favorites, 12, crazy spread. I was like, Not for this one. No. That it doesn't work like that. But yeah, no, Bills, I am a little slightly concerned about that. I also thought early in the game, Drake May looked really, really good in that game.
He did. No, he looked great.
He was taking his one-on-ones to Booty and his receivers, and they were winning a lot against Buffalo's secondary.
Kayshon Boutte being his number one target right now outside of Hunter Henry is just I don't know how I feel about that.
Hunter Henry is the. I mean, Drake May's got nothing going for him right now. He's got Ramondre at running back. Like,
hey, they just extended him. They did just extend him. So there's maybe a plus there. I don't know. Probably a minus.
I mean, right now, if I'm looking at the Patriots and I'm Mike Vrabel, I'm like, not the worst option. And I get to one up Belichick again. If I'm Vrabel, I'm looking at New England like that's not the worst destination.
Was it Vrabel who did the time clock management bullshit against Belichick? Was it against Belichick too
in the playoffs to beat them?
I remember Belichick being pissed.
Mm-hmm. And you see Vrabel great. Like snickering on the sideline. He's like laughing that it's working.
I kind of remember the commentators being like, "Yeah, he's pulling a Belichick against Belichick."
Yeah, because like Titans had a punt. They're on like the 50. They have a good field. They can back up and still down it inside the 10. And he just kept taking, or he would keep false starting with 1 second. So the clock keeps running and Belichick's just, you can see the steam out of Belichick's ears. That's how mad he was. And Vrabel's just laughing. Like, yeah, no, but it's moments like that, just time wasting.
Ryan Day could never.
He quite literally could never. No, he's incapable of doing that. Also, if we're talking awful clock management, Todd Bowles last night.
Oh my God.
They get a first down. It's a first and goal. 50 seconds left on the clock, and they call a timeout. And then what do they do after the timeout with 50 seconds left before the half on the 9-yard line going in? They pass on the first play. Why did you call a timeout if you were going to pass the next? You literally gave Brandon Aubrey a 59-yard field goal to end that. Like, I saw that. I was like, I would be irate right now if I was a Bucs fan. I would literally be breaking windows if that happened. Oh my God. What did I watch last night? Like what was I watching? But enough about clock management. We all know there may be 4 NFL. Not even NFL. There may be 4 football coaches who understand the clock at the end of
Kevin O'Connell's been pretty good on it.
That's why I said 4. You know, he could be in that category too.
I'll give him props on that.
But it's crazy that there's so many coaches that do not know how to manage time at the end of halves or end of the games. It's ridiculous. But
honestly, I see this all the time. Like I keep seeing the same tweets. So like literally just hire a kid who plays Madden to just manage timeouts.
No, it's crazy.
Their entire job is just timeout. Just let him do it.
No, literally, like the get back coach add to his responsibilities, like clock management specialist. Like your job is to just be in the coach's ear. Like, no timeout. We got to burn 30 seconds here. Don't call it. You need somebody.
We are up by 1, and there's a minute left. It is second down for us. Do not call a timeout.
Coach, we are down by 10. We get the ball to start the second half. We are on the 8-yard line, 40 seconds left. If you're going to call a timeout, you need to run it on first down. Do not pass the football.
Hail Mary.
Coach, so many questions. So many questions when it comes to clock management. But yeah, I would say we had a couple of exciting games. Vikings Seahawks, so it was very exciting. Eagles Commanders.
Yeah, Gino should have thrown 4 picks, but
I forgot how much I love to hate watch and hate listen, but hearing Eagles fans this morning recap that game, oh my God.
Well,
I've never had more fun in my life.
This is what I saw. So first of all, I don't know how I texted you this. Jalen Hurts is my starting quarterback for Dynasty. Somehow I'm still in that game. I don't know how. It is on the back of Josh Jacobs tonight. So everybody please pray for me. I
need 3 points out of Brandon McManus tonight. And if he doesn't have 3 points at the end of tonight, Everett, this podcast will not hear the end of it. But yeah,
I need 14 points out of Josh Jacobs, but
that's happening.
yeah, but so once Jalen Hurts got hurt, ironic, Kenny Pickett went in. And obviously now Kenny Pickett's allegedly hurt with some rib injury, but I saw some Eagles fans just pissing on Commanders fans in the win. They were like, yeah, you guys beat a backup. Like, you shouldn't be impressed by the win at all. Yeah, Grant, can we just recap the quarterbacks the Eagles have gotten to go against when they've played the Commanders over the past decade? Taylor Heineke.
My goodness, that'll be
Taylor Heineke.
Do you have him?
Mark Sanchez. Oh, I can get it.
Oh, no.
I was going off my memory.
I really hoped you just had that ready to go.
No, I had it. I was going off memory. I saw it. I saw it earlier. But it's just like Taylor Heineke. They have, don't forget Mark Sanchez that 1 year, Ryan Fitzpatrick that 1 year.
Yeah.
You also had Alex Smith. I mean, good year from Alex Smith. Then I'm not going to slander that.
Year. That's a good
I'm
year.
not going to slander that.
That was a good season.
Yeah. So Grant, the quarterbacks that they played against the last decade, Jaden Daniels this year, no slander. Last year, Sam Howell. Year before, Taylor Heineke, Carson Wentz, and Sam Howell. The year before that, Taylor Heineke, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and Garrett Gilbert. The year before that, Alex Smith, Dwayne Haskins, Kyle Allen. All right, I'm not going to slander that as much. 2019, Case Keenum, Dwayne Haskins, Colt McCoy. The year before that, Alex Smith, Josh Johnson, Colt McCoy, Mark Sanchez. And then Kirk Cousins, 2014 RG3. Kirk Cousins and Colt McCoy somehow is still there. He was president in 2014. Didn't know that.
Not a great look for the Eagles. If you have a positive turnover differential 5-1 and you are losing that football game, that's not a good sign.
If I was Saquon, I would be irate.
Oh yeah, also just Smitty dropping that pass. Ugh, killer.
Hey, at least AJ Brown will be happy. He got a touchdown now, finally.
Well, I was about to say AJ Brown was freed. Very funny how that worked. But yeah, Lattimore also. First half he was kind of getting beat a couple times, getting some PIs, but second half clamps were clamped down. All right, second half Lattimore he showed up for the second half. But this was just a funny game. Crowder scoring 2 at the end. I was like, bro, Jamison Crowder was on the RG3 Alfred Moore. He was wide receiver 2 in that offense. Holy shit. Jamison Crowder is still out here. Very old.
Very old.
Yeah,
he was around when Pierre Garçon was still playing.
Pierre was the one. Yeah. Alfred
People
Morris
also want to say Pierre Garçon, that's a trivia name. Unfortunately, but that is going to be a trivia niche question name.
Yeah, but that just Crowder getting 2 at the end, Brian Robinson fumbling twice in the first half. Nothing was going the Commanders. For the Commanders, take out Jaden Daniels' runs. The Commanders ran the ball 15 times for 32 yards. The Commanders running backs. And the Commanders won that football game. Oh boy. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, it's not like the Eagles defense is any easy defense to play against too.
They held the Washington running backs to 32 yards on 15 carries. That is ridiculous.
I know there's secondaries question, but also don't forget Quintanamo
got
Bay
thrown out too. But yeah,
true. But Quintanamo Bay was everybody who's been talking, Eagles fans specifically, been talking up how Mitchell has been just great this year, and Terry put him in the blender.
Yeah. I also just love seeing just Terry finally gets a wide receiver or a quarterback.
Yeah, he's finally now on the graphics speaking positively of Ohio State wide receivers, which is great.
Yeah, literally, it's just guys, Terry's really good.
Terry's been good. He just hasn't been quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I just listed, his quarterbacks were Case Keenum, Mark Sanchez, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Keep
God,
going. Keep going.
oh, you want Carson Wentz, Taylor Heineke, Garrett Gilbert, Colt McCoy,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Josh Johnson.
Uh-huh. Yep. Those are slinging it to Terry. Good old
Yeah.
Terry.
Yeah.
But yeah. NFL. What a great weekend of stuff. Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
also
So
say the Lions fake fumble touchdown Everett. Oh my god.
I'm kind of surprised that they actually pulled that out
Use
now
that for that game.
Like
Yes.
I would have held on to that, especially if Week 18 becomes like the game for the NFC North.
It's looking like it will be.
Well, I'm not going to say shit. I'm not saying that you said that.
I
did not.
I'll say
it
that.
is rivalry week right now. This is like the game for Ohio State, Michigan. This is quite literally the game for us right now. Is rivalry week. Packers, Vikings in Minneapolis just got flexed. Packers are here trying to fucking take us out. Somehow, if the Lions lose both games, I guess it's not possible.
Have you clinched playoffs?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
Packers already clinched too.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think if the Packers can even win the division, which I don't think they can unless maybe we tie with the Lions next week.
Let me take a quick gander at that. Keep going.
Either way. Yeah, so Grant, first of all, the Lions, this podcast,
Packers cannot win the division.
Yeah. So they would just be doing it for the pure hate of the Minnesota Vikings. That's literally what they would be playing for to beat us. But Grant, like this podcast, it has been noted, it's been tracked, my increased hatred towards Lions fans. We're getting there, Grant. They're coming up quick on the rivalry tracker. Bears are nowhere near. Bears are just out of there. It's always going to be Vikings Packers, but Lions Vikings is, I mean, like that's when people apparently say like the Bears Packers are like a heated ass rivalry, but people still think Vikings Packers typically. That's getting pretty close with Vikings Lions right now. So first of all of us know, if you watch football, you've probably heard of the Vikings post game. Like they show Kevin O'Connell doing his post game speeches. Have you seen these or no? Okay, so the Vikings, I guess not every football fan does, but so the Vikings after every game,
maybe for Vikings fans that may add up.
Well, the Vikings posted, but after every game, the Vikings post Kevin O'Connell's post game speech, and it's become a very widespread thing. Like a lot of people repost it. I like Peter Schrager reposts it all the time. Like big like NFL kind of like beat guys repost it, and it's always kind of talking about like, yeah, I'd run through a fucking wall for Kevin O'Connell. Like this is a great coach. Like blah blah blah. Like his post game speech, giving balls out, whatever. The Lions, obviously, I've seen it. The Lions, whose game was at noon yesterday on Sunday. The Vikings game was at 3:05, by the way.
Yeah.
The Lions waited until after the Vikings posted their post-game speech to post their now post-game speech with Dan Campbell. Keep in mind, the Vikings didn't even post theirs until like 9 p.m. And then the Lions posted theirs right after. So they had like 9 hours on top of it to like post, and the Vikings even took time. So they're trying to one up. They're trying to one up a little bit. But here's the other thing. Grant. The Lions have now reached 13 wins for the first time ever in Lions franchise history. Best season ever by a Lions team, by a Lions franchise. Grant, the Vikings just did that in a rebuild year. The Vikings are 13-2 in a rebuild year. You are not like us. I just want to say that, hey, Kendrick, not like us, all right? So, no matter what, Lions fans, you could beat us week 18. All I want to say is we matched your franchise record-setting wins in one season, in a season we were rebuilding. Just want to put that out there. But I just had to kind of take my moment and show that. I just had to show that.
Okay. Yeah. Lions. Yeah, I've been following this boiling kettle pot for the past few years myself. It had the top of the boiling pot has not blown off yet. The top's still on. The bubbles are they're increasing. We're about to reach that point. It's very close. Uh, I'm just looking forward to these next 2 weeks. Can you give me
I
the
mean, they're
date
big
of
weeks.
Lions Viking? Can you give me the exact date, time, everything?
Time is TBD right now.
Okay. I have a feeling. I have a feeling though that you're getting Sunday Night Football for last week if it's
It's
for the division.
also will be the first game in 2025 for the Vikings. For it's just like the first game of
NFL game or
for
Vikings
no
game?
no no just for Vikings game, like the
Oh,
first game of 2025 now, like that sets pace. Hey,
yeah, I'm not
that's
entirely
a
sure,
pace
but
setter.
I kind of just realized I think I may be at the very first football game of the new year for the Rose Bowl. I might be.
It's on New
There's
Year's
probably a
Day.
game before
Yeah,
that. Probably. I don't know
probably because
though.
it's a Pacific time game, so I guess most
But
likely
Rose
Cotton
Bowl
Bowl probably is before.
always starts like 2 p.m. Pacific time. So when the fourth quarter starts, the sun's setting and they get that shot
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
Rose Bowl.
I'm trying to think like I is it Cotton Bowl and Orange Bowl? I
I have
think are
no idea what
the
the days are. Zero
no. I
clue.
think Cotton Bowl and Orange Bowl are the
Just the other
they're
quarterfinal
the
sites.
no they're the semifinal.
Oh yeah, yes.
I think it's Peach Bowl, Sugar
Sugar,
Bowl,
Rose, the
Rose
big boy
Bowl.
bowls,
What's the
Fiesta,
last one? Fiesta
Fiesta.
Bowl. Yeah, yeah.
Those
I'm
are
gonna guess
quarters.
Fiesta and Rose Bowl are probably around the same time. I'm gonna guess Sugar Bowl is noon Pacific or sorry Central.
Wait, so say that one more time. Sugar Bowl on the same day as the Rose Bowl?
I
Is that
believe Sugar Bowl is on New Year's Day.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it right now. Three of the games are on New Year's Day. Only one of them New Year's Eve. Fiesta Bowl, Penn State, Boise State will be New Year's Eve. And for any big time college football fans, you may know a thing or two about Penn State and Boise State when it comes to the Fiesta Bowl.
Well, hey, I just want to say, hopefully none
I
of them have
believe
to kick going into the new year. Hopefully none of them are kicking going into the new year.
it starts 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. So going off Eastern time, 7:30 start. Do we think the game can last 4.5 hours? That's the question. Do we think it
How
can?
many penalties do we think is going to happen?
How can we get that game
But
4.5?
was that game for you guys? Was that Peach Bowl? Was it East Coast?
Georgia, Ohio State, right?
Yeah. Was that East Coast? Was that an East Coast Bowl?
It was East Coast. I do not know if it was Peach or Sugar Bowl. One of them. I don't know.
Sugar is in Central. It's in New Orleans.
I have no idea where that game was played. It was one of those.
Maybe they were just doing the clip of going into New Year's because it was East.
No. It was just the same time that the ball dropped, like Eastern time.
Yeah. It doesn't mean it wasn't Eastern time, but Grant. Speaking of games, though, before we get into college and want to talk about that, we do need to do our Wednesday Christmas Day picks for the NFL because we will not have a post in time for that. We'll save the rest of the games.
Is there a Thursday night this week or no?
Yes, there's Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Monday. We're getting every single day except for Friday.
All right, so we'll do Wednesday picks.
We'll just do Wednesday. I'm not gonna track. I'll just say the games. It doesn't matter. We'll get into the actual in depth and go back through them. But this way, we actually have them logged before the game starts, and we can go back through them. Grant,
bro, why do the Chargers play on Saturday? Like, why? Like, what the hell? And it says NFL Network. It's not even on like a national broadcast. Like, what? I can't.
I'm so sorry.
I can't do this shit.
But Grant, on Christmas Day, all right, if you celebrate, noon game, Chiefs at Steelers, 3:30, Ravens at Texans. God forbid the fact that if you don't own Netflix, mess streams, quote unquote mess streams, going to be hot that day. Grant, I'm doing it. This is the first time I've looked at these games, so I'm saying this.
Yeah, I have not.
I'm going straight.
Considered.
Give me Chiefs. Give me Ravens.
Yeah, I'm taking Chiefs Ravens also. Steelers look dead right now. That was a bad beatdown from the Ravens last week. I know they were banged up. I know they were on defense, but so is everyone else. We can't be just pointing out that, oh no, Joey Porter Jr.
Hey,
now we can't do anything. Figure it out.
The Texans did almost beat the Chiefs though. They were there. They were right there.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, yeah. I like with the Texans. It's like I'm talking a playoff game here. The Texans will never be down double digits in a playoff game. They'll
No, no.
always be in the game. It'll the game won't be over. They're
I mean, CJ won that first playoff game last year, didn't he?
yeah, and they routed, absolutely dismantled. Was it who did they dismantle? Everett? I'm forgetting who was it.
Actually, that's how bad it was. That's how bad it was.
Shit. Yeah, I have no idea. They
They
shit pumped a team though.
hold on, I'm pulling it up.
Please.
Oh, the Browns. It was the Browns, and
All
then they
right.
proceeded to get pumped by the Ravens and the
Yeah,
division
no,
round.
last year screwed up my head early season because the Browns made the playoffs. I'm like, dude, their line of play is real. It do not
Yeah, no,
matter
no, no.
if
They did
everyone
not
else
make
is
the
bad.
playoffs because of their early season performance. It was Joe Flacco. It was the back end Joe
And
Flacco.
fantasy playoff David Njoku. Oh my god. Oh my god. He averaged 80 targets a game in the playoffs last year. What was I watching?
Yeah, they need Jameis to start back bad.
Yeah. Oh god, DTR was just
I
atrocious.
don't know what they knew what they were getting out of him. It's
No,
not like
I know.
they
They
didn't see
did
him
know.
last year. Like I don't know what the point of that was.
Well, I'll make a quick little jab at one of my rivals now. At least the Browns tank and know how to, unlike the Raiders, who won their football game and lost the first pick in the draft and set their franchise back another 5 years. So, shout out
Yeah,
AP and Tom Telesco.
AP, by the way, former Giants player. Giants now have the first overall pick. Still a Giant at heart. Still a Giant at heart. The other thing, I saw this though because they were just people talking about like how like oh you have to just be patient with quarterbacks. Look at what Baker's doing. Look at what Geno's doing now. Look at what Sam Darnold's doing now on different teams. Teams like we're patient with them. First of all, that's not true. All right, it's systems. Second of all, never had to be patient with Baker. He got a shoulder injury for an entire season on his throwing shoulder. Still played, and then the Browns thought he was bad because he didn't play that well that year. Which newsflash was because he had a shoulder injury in his throwing shoulder.
Yeah, just
maybe
that.
You should have kept him over taking, I don't know, Deshaun Watson for your entire
just
cap.
the TikToks from years ago. Please do not draft X player. Landing spot matters in the NFL. It's true. Landing spot matters a lot.
Case in point, Garrett Wilson is going to request a trade this offseason.
And as the Chargers spokesperson on this podcast, we need to acquire him, not for us, not for our wide receiver room. It has nothing to do with us. It is to prevent him from being a Kansas City Chief. If Garrett Wilson is a Kansas City Chief, Everett.
If you guys make the playoffs this year, I would be
it's looking pretty likely.
I would be very, very comfortable giving up that mid-20 pick for Garrett Wilson, like, so quick.
Yes. The team right now is showing that if they had a passing offense, like, the Chargers could be a team.
Yeah, the problem is when your entire passing offense is Ladd McConkey.
No.
It's a little bit difficult.
We don't right now. We do not have
that's not Ladd McConkey slander, by the way. Ladd is very good. It's just every other wide receiver is bad.
It's Tom Telesco's slander from the last regime. That's
Quentin Johnston slander, really. That's what it is.
Yeah. Unfortunately, bricks for hands. You can never beat those allegations.
I saw him get like a pass.
They're not allegations anymore. It's just true.
I watched him take a throw straight to the chest and just straight dropped it. I was like, dude, yeah, you could have.
We're even letting you body catch, and you can't do it.
Could have had Jordan Addison. No, you want Quentin Johnston. Nice. But yeah, I mean, the only other thing I wanted to just mention regarding the NFL, Grant, is Vikings are the only team in the NFL this season to have gained a turnover. Like the defense has caused a turnover in every game this season. No other team has done that.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Going into the week, like last week, you're announcing the games, and you brought up Vikings Seahawks, and my first question was, is it in Seattle? You said yes. I was like, I really like the Minnesota Vikings chances. Yeah,
well,
Geno Smith also at home, Everett.
Not great.
Oh boy.
But
Yeah, Geno Smith is 2-14 against the spread in his last
I
16 home
mean, Grant,
starts.
first of all, Gino should have thrown 4 picks in that game. 2 of our picks were dropped. We caught
Yeah,
another 2.
he's bad.
Second thing, one of those
Geno's
picks was
bad.
to Dallas Turner in coverage.
Yeah, yeah.
Second,
We're
on
done.
top
We're
of
done
that,
here.
Grant, it was the first time the Vikings had won in Seattle since 2006.
Shut up.
It has been 18 years since the Vikings won in
You're
Seattle.
talking a Hasselback Seattle team was the last time you went in.
Yes.
Well, how many times have you played in Seattle? I bet if you told me you've played
I
2
think we
football
played
games
like
in Seattle since then, I'd
four
be like,
or
that's
four or
probably cap.
five.
It's 1.
Because
But
remember after the wide left kick, they scheduled us and the Seahawks every year for like 4 years, and
oh yeah,
then they scheduled us and the Saints like every year for like 4 years after the Minneapolis Miracle, and it's just kind of been like one of those things. So we played in Seattle like I think back to back years, like 2017, 2018 or something. Or no, we played in Seattle during COVID. We played in Seattle in 2020. And that was the last time we played them, and I think we played them the year before there in 2019. We lost both those games.
prior to yesterday's comeback when the Washington Commanders, the Washington Football Organization, had lost 98 straight games when trailing by 13 or more points in the fourth quarter until last Sunday.
God, oh, gross.
Yeah, but if we're going to talk about a fan base that had it much worse than the Philly fans, let's talk about the Tennessee Volunteer fan base. All right, on to college football. Oh boy, yeah. I'll start by saying this: going into the week, my Ohio State fandom was at an all-time low. The faith in Ryan Day is still very low. But
yeah, if Vrabel came knocking, you'd fire him in a heartbeat.
When Tennessee fans start running their mouth this week, when Tennessee fans try to say Neyland North, the shoes Neyland North, we're gonna go up there, take over, SEC country. Ohio State's soft. Ohio State's not tough. They're not tough like us. I think you're referring to your football team playing in the cold, soft as baby shit. That's what the Tennessee Volunteers are. Yeah, there's levels to this. There's levels to college football. I'm upset at a 10-2 season. I'm irate at a 10-2 season. Tennessee fans would die to have a 10-2 season every year. Would do anything for a 10-2 season every year. Me, 10-2. That's my lowest point as an Ohio State fan. There's levels to this shit, guys. Tennessee, you guys are like so unbelievably irrelevant to the point where like me just talking to you right now is giving you way more respect than you deserve. The fact that I even am giving you the time to address your football team right now, I'm giving you way too much credit that you do not deserve at all. The Tennessee offense, oh my God. Oh my, dude, JTT and Jack Sawyer aren't that great. They are both strong side edges.
They will still be first round picks.
Run blocker or like run stoppers at the end of the day. Like that's how they're built. And they were still mauling your mauling.
I don't think a single warm weather team won last week.
No, ever. Every single favorite one. And
no, I know every favorite one.
People saying, well, yes, the home teams, it's the home environments. Everett, let's go back to the 4-team playoff. Let's not even go back far. Let's just go back.
Oh, you mean when Oklahoma got executed on national television?
You're going back way further than I need to. Let's just go back 2 years to Georgia TCU. Was that a home game? Was it the home atmosphere, the SEC crowd that caused Georgia to shit pump TCU? It was. So maybe, just maybe, there's a couple of teams in college football that are clearly supremely talented to their
like
competition.
TCU just over Michigan.
Just maybe that exists. Maybe. We can't be certain though. Let's go back like a little more though. I remember a college football playoff game between Notre Dame and I believe it was the Alabama Crimson Tide. I believe Alabama won that game 31-0. Was it
Manti Te'o year?
No. You're good. That's way far back.
I
That's
thought you were talking
BCS.
about the
No,
championship.
I'm
Yeah,
talking Ian Book,
BCS.
Notre Dame.
Oh. Well, there's your answer, Grant. That solves the whole problem.
Yes, the number
But
3 team in
this
the
is this
country. It
is
was zero match.
look, this is what I will say though, with all that is people are complaining still about the playoff format and just like, oh, we're getting blowouts and stuff. And like, why would I want to watch these teams that are getting blowout? First of all, blowouts has happened forever in college football and playoffs and BCS. It has always happened. That first round, typically, it is
True.
always bad games. Cincinnati's gotten blown out. Oklahoma's gotten blown out. Not Alabama. Notre Dame's gotten blown out.
Alabama's gotten blown out by Clemson
Michigan's
2017.
gotten
That he got
blown out.
shit, or 2019 that he got shit
Yeah.
pumped by T-Law.
Also, the
Ohio
other thing
State's got blown out twice in
I've
playoff
seen
games. It
the
happened.
other thing. So there's that. First of all, second of all, I saw Big Cat say this too, and I think it's really important. What would you rather have? All right, these bowl games. If you didn't have a 14 team playoff or whatever we had right now, 12 team, whatever the fuck you want, if it was still four, Ohio State, Tennessee would have been played in a bowl, probably like the Peach Bowl or some like the Orange Bowl, some shit. Half the team would have opted out. The other half wouldn't have given a shit because they just lost to Michigan or whatever the fuck. It's not a playoff game, right? So now instead of that, you've got a game where people actually care, even if they get blown out. The team still cares, all right? Unless you're Kurt Signetti. Unless you're Kurt Signetti, then you just wait to the end of the game. Then you care.
No, he
care at the end of the game.
Kurt Signetti cares, but he knows
not until 15 minutes left in the game.
No, he's got to make it look close.
Hey, like those guys at least play and they care, and you're not getting guys opting out. Even guys who are in the portal, quote unquote, are on the team there in case something is needed, and they're staying on the team until the end of the season, whenever they lose or win.
No, so, yeah, like, I'm not saying the 12-team playoffs bad. As an Ohio
I'm not
State
saying
fan,
that, but it's just on
look at Ohio State right now.
It's just generally on topic, talking about blowouts and stuff, and people being like, "Why do I want to watch this if it's just a blowout?" Or why should Alabama should have gotten over SMU. Alabama lost to a 6-6.
No. Alabama like deserve here. Okay, we're gonna get into this too, but deserving versus best 12. Did Alabama deserve to be in the play? Hell no. You kidding me, dude? They lost to Vanderbilt and they lost to Oklahoma. No, Alabama didn't deserve to be in the playoff. No. But as an Ohio State fan, I'm so happy they didn't deserve to be in the playoff. If you gave me SMU or Bama round one, we know the answer who Ohio State.
No, obviously Bama's.
You know the answer to that one.
Obviously, Bama's probably going to play it better, but it's not saying at all that they wouldn't have gotten just
that has nothing to do with it. Yeah, like that. That's irrelevant though. How you think it's going to go? Wins have to matter. Like the regular season has to matter.
But also, like if Alabama, if Alabama wanted to be in the playoffs, just don't lose to 6-6 Oklahoma, who sucks.
No, exactly. And Lane Kiffin,
like if they lose to that, they're going to probably lose to Notre Dame.
Like Lane, if you want to be in the playoff, then don't lose to Florida with 2 games left in the season, and you're in the playoff. Don't lose to Florida if you want to be in. I'm not debating any of that. But what I think is funnier about this is that many casuals are watching this being like, yeah, it was the home atmospheres that caused these blowouts. The 12-team playoff did not give smaller schools a bigger chance at winning the Natty. It didn't. It just gave Ohio State a third.
Also, hey, if home atmospheres really matter like that much, there would have been some clear demonstrations of it. I think the reason why people are so much talking about like, oh, home atmosphere matters is they're probably thinking of like, oh, Penn State whiteout, like we're thinking of the fans and stuff. No, dude, it's SMU from Dallas traveling to where it's 20 degrees and snowing. That seems like
the
SMU
players were literally shivering on the field. The SMU players were literally shivering.
It's like taking the Miami Dolphins whenever they play the Bills. Yeah, it's literally what it is.
Yeah, like that was the thing for Tennessee. It was like it's not like this. Like before the week, people were being like, "Oh, I think Ohio State's going to need to pass the ball to win this game," but the weather's not that great, so Tennessee, it might actually help them out because they're a better run team. No, like when you're going up north and it's freezing cold, and now your left guard in the back of his mind is cold, and he's worried about how cold it is. Like that's where it impacts you. I'm not talking. The weather makes it tougher to throw. I don't think the weather had much of a problem with Will Howard dropping absolute dimes in the bucket to Jeremiah over and over on your head. Oh my God. The shit talk I hear from Tennessee fans about this corner. Let me get his name. He's so bad. I don't even know his name. And after I say it right now, we'll
Yeah,
never address
I
it
know
again.
I
Jermod McCoy, number 3. I heard all week Jermod McCoy's going to clamp Jeremiah. Jermod McCoy held Ryan Williams to 4 catches, 20 yards. Jeremiah Smith bitch Jermon McCoy. I mean, oh my God, Jermon McCoy. People were saying first round pick. You got Denzel Burked against Oregon, first round pick to 5th round pick. All right. You just got Keely Ringoed by Marv in the Sugar Bowl.
Oh
First
God.
round pick to 4th round pick. Congrats.
He's not even playing. He's like the 7th string on the Eagles right now.
Exactly. Yeah, no, there's levels to this. Tennessee, you guys were actually so unbelievably outmatched. It was not fair. It was not fair. And I do not like being too mean on this podcast, but the Tennessee weapons, non-existent.
Hey, no Brazzle slander, though. No Brazzle slander. I know where you're going with it. No
Brazzle's getting clamped by a true freshman. I was like, dude, what is going on? Bryce West is out here, first snaps in 3 months, and he's clamping you. Oh my God. Tennessee, some hot garbage. Go back to your Rocky Top. Go enjoy an 8-4, a 9-3 season.
Yeah,
go
it's
enjoy
also you can
wrap it all up. Enjoy it
because
that's your peak. A first round embarrassment.
You can kind of tell when a fan base hasn't been there before. You didn't hear anything this week of Ohio State fans doing anything with Tennessee. The only thing I've seen this entire week regarding that game was Tennessee fans playing Rocky Top on repeat in Columbus. Tennessee fans going and taking the X's off of the M's and putting them on the O's. Tennessee
I mean,
fans,
just the amount of disrespect
Tennessee
from Tennessee fans. Like saying Ohio, like first, you can, hey, if you want to come at the Ohio State football team and players, I think that's inbounds. Go for it. If you want to shit talk our players, that's fine. Like you're also watching these football games. That's fair game. But when you start coming at the people of Ohio personally, calling them like losers, they have nothing going on in their lives.
That's a nice way to say it, Grant. That's a nice way of saying.
Yeah, if you're saying you're taking at them personally, and then Tennessee fans are being like, well, I mean, we have the Great Mountains. What do Ohio people have other than football? Yeah, you just hit it square on the head, folks. Ohio State football is the state of Ohio. Nothing else matters than Ohio State football to the people of Ohio. You just said it out loud. You thought it was a negative thing. Oh, what do they have other than football? You're right. That's it. So we take this shit seriously. If you're going to come after Ohio State fans, trying to criticize us, if you're going to talk all that smack, Neyland North, the shoes Neyland North, our stadium, we're coming in, taking over, check her out the shoe. And then you're going to complain about getting shit talked for getting embarrassed. Oh my God. You guys are softer than Ryan Day after losing to Michigan. My God, I never thought I could see a more pathetic reaction than Ryan Day. Nope. Tennessee fans proved me wrong. There's truly nothing more pathetic than that fan base. 10-2 is their ceiling. Enjoy it. First round exits, hang the banner.
All right. So we did this last week in the episode. I doubt your predictions have changed. In fact, it's probably only been reinforced, but let's just get these next rounds. Say whatever you need to do going into these matchups.
Yeah. So yeah, the winner of Ohio State Oregon is going to win the national championship. That one,
I'll say this. I did my brackets after last episode. Right now, the bracket that I have projected the most, that I like the most, I have Oregon meeting Notre Dame in the championship game.
Okay. Yeah,
Notre Dame beats Georgia. That's kind of my upset prediction right now for the rest of the bracket is Notre Dame does beat Georgia.
Well, one thing I'm thinking about Notre Dame, Georgia specifically, earlier this year, Georgia has struggled against running quarterbacks. You go to the Alabama game, Milroe was running rampant all over. I believe it was it South Carolina? No, Bama or Georgia didn't.
Kentucky?
No, not Kentucky. Not Vandegrift, my God. They had another mobile quarterback matchup.
I'll look right now.
Just look up Georgia's schedule. They had another one that they kind of struggled with. But this is like I think a large reason why they struggled against those dual threat quarterbacks is because they were dual threat. They can
Was
throw
this
the
a game
ball.
that they lost or just close?
Just a close game. Like
Oh,
they've just
Georgia
struggled.
Tech,
Oh yeah, Haynes
Haynes
King.
King. Yeah.
So they've had that's actually a better example. Haynes King's a much better example. But with Bama, the one difference is that Georgia had to respect Ryan Williams and the Bama passing offense. Like they couldn't just stack and load the box. Ryan Williams was scorching, absolutely scorching Malachi Starks and KJ Bolden and all the Georgia DBs. But a difference for this approach is that Riley Leonard cannot throw a football, and Georgia can stack the box this time. They can leave their DBs on islands against
I will
Notre
say
Dame receivers
Haynes
because they
King
can't really
and
do it.
Riley Leonard
No, they're very similar though. Like
close.
Haynes
Yeah.
King also cannot throw a forward pass. Georgia gave up free overtime. I think they gave up 38 points to Georgia Tech. I don't know exactly, maybe
Pre
42.
overtime.
Yeah, the overtimes
Let's see.
take this up, but they gave up a lot to that Haynes King offense. And like Notre Dame's gonna have to replicate that formula to beat Georgia. They're gonna have to like rewatch that Georgia Tech game, run that. Like Riley Leonard's gonna have to be
They gave up
amazing in this game.
27, I believe. 27
I
in
thought it was more
regular.
than that. All right, didn't
No.
exactly help out my point with
27-27
matchup.
going into OT.
Okay. Yeah, Georgia's going to be able to match up with that offense pretty well.
To be fair though, Georgia did not score a single they scored 21 points to tie it in the fourth quarter.
Oh yeah, no, and Georgia's offense even more. Oh yikes! This might be nasty. It might be very bad, but it just comes down to talent. At the end of the day, Georgia's like 3 deep in their front.
No, they are, but that's the thing though is even with talent, it doesn't always necessarily mean that team's going to win. It means it's more likely. But
I think in this game, I think they're gonna control the line of scrimmage.
My bigger question though is going to be on Gunnar Stockton. That's my very big question mark.
Well, I'd say it's a big question mark, but like Gunnar Stockton doesn't need to be amazing for Georgia to win this game.
No, but the offense can't be anemic, and I just don't know how he's going to look going into that game with all the pressure on him and it being his
there's a chance Georgia's offense could be anemic if Notre Dame's offense also is.
Yeah, then it doesn't matter. Then it doesn't matter if they're both anemic. But I'm just projecting that Georgia's going to need to score some for it to be a close game. But or for not a close game. For
I'd say Notre Dame Georgia. I think of our 4 quarterfinals, that's the game where I'm like, if I'm gonna pick any of them to go under, that's gonna be the
under. Yeah,
game.
no, I would probably choose that as well.
I bet that's a pretty low line.
ASU is gonna get blown out. Oregon, Ohio State's gonna be over.
Yeah, no, that's just gonna be a
shootout. It's
just gonna be a good football game.
Boise State and Penn State could be an under game.
I actually am thinking a sneaky under there.
Yeah, I could say if Boise. That's also the thing, though. If Boise somehow controls the clock on that, like, I'm not saying that they will win, but they have a better chance if Genty is not controlled by Penn State, which obviously it's a little bit easier just to stop a running back. But as we've seen from Saquon this entire year and Genty this entire year, like, you can still scheme and be able to have your running back do well when teams know that's the only thing that's going to, happen.
Yeah, it can happen. I don't think that can happen against Penn State though. Yeah, though that's not gonna be the greatest football game ever. Ohio State Oregon though, that's gonna be something. I will be there.
It's the game of the week.
Yeah, it's the de facto national champion.
Also, here's the thing: the Rose Bowl every year
it's always a good football game.
Always a good game.
Always.
That's what makes the Rose Bowl the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, it's granddaddy of them all for a reason. No, yeah, like Rose Bowl, there's nothing better It's just the greatest spectacle ever. Going to the Rose Bowl, seeing it.
I know it was edited a little bit last year, but like the picture that they had between Alabama and Michigan, where it was just divided at the 50, and it was the flyover picture. I know it was edited a bit, but that's still one of the most beautiful like sports pictures I've seen.
Oh yeah, no.
They
Just
look
the
down on the
scenes at the
field.
Rose Bowl, it's amazing. Like nothing beats that environment at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. That's what you think of when you think college football.
Not UCLA Rose Bowl though. Not UCLA games played in the Rose Bowl. The
No, yeah,
actual Rose Bowl.
those
That.
are just UCLA football games.
Just had to clarify that.
Yeah, no, we don't give those games credit. They aren't very good, but yeah, no. First round, Ohio State, Oregon, Notre Dame, Georgia. Those would be the two big ones. Yeah, everyone gave me so much shit. Oh, picked all your favorites in your prediction posts. Well, at least in that first round, the matchups were a little lopsided. But Ohio State, Oregon. That's
Grant, I do have breaking
heads will
news
roll.
regarding a former Ohio State quarterback,
Oh,
Aaron
JT
Nolan.
Barrett. Oh,
Aaron Nolan
Aaron Nolan.
is
Where's he
committed
going?
to South Carolina.
That makes sense. I like that move for him. He can sit one more year behind Sellers, then he'll take over. He's also from
Carolina.
I believe Aaron Nolan's from Georgia or South Carolina or kind of that area. But yeah, I've got no ill will towards Aaron Nolan at all. Rooting for his success. I have no problem at all with Aaron Nolan.
Gotcha. But yeah, I mean, like that's the thing.
If
Like,
anything, I'm sitting here right now like Devin Brown, like, hey, I respect the hell out of you for like sticking on the team, but if you're gonna enter the portal and
he
he
did
like left
enter
the
the portal
team
though,
right
didn't
now,
he?
yeah, he's
He
still
is in
on
the
the team
portal.
though. But like if he dipped the team, no complaints out of me. I totally get it, dude. The fact he stayed here for this long even is mad
Yeah.
respect. Mad respect.
But no, I mean, like with the first round of the playoffs, like I think you'd be a little bit crazy to not have picked the favorites in any of those games.
Yeah, so here are the hypothetical lines for the college football playoff semifinals if they were to occur. So, Texas, if Oregon beats Ohio State, Texas would be a 1.5 point favorite over Oregon. If
Really?
Ohio State beats Oregon, Ohio State would be a 1.5 point favorite over Texas. Uh, if
That doesn't make much
Arizona,
sense.
well, right now Ohio State, well, guess what the spread is for Ohio State, Oregon?
3.5.
Ohio State -2.5. Right now,
Really?
Vegas says Ohio State is the best. Well, I mean, you saw how they could play at their peak the last game. Question
Yeah,
is if
I
they
also
can
saw
continue
that
doing that.
they the end of that Oregon game they lost on just stupidity.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
like
I mean,
yeah,
but also like the left tackle gets hurt mid
yeah,
game.
no,
Then Ohio State goes to shit. They're looking at all these,
no.
but I
There's
mean,
layers to it. I know, but
Vegas is saying just on paper, Ohio State is the best team in the
I'm
country.
still thinking. I just think whatever team comes out of this, like Oregon, should have also been favored versus Texas. That's why I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like I think Oregon is a better team than Texas too.
Yeah, I would say ultimately yes. I'd pick Oregon over Texas too. But like that's close. That's not as clear as these other games. But if
True, but
Arizona
still,
State were to advance instead of Texas, Oregon would be a 12.5 point favorite, and Ohio State would be a 13.5 point favorite.
yeah, that
Uh,
adds up. That makes
Now,
sense.
on the other side of the bracket, if Georgia, okay, if Notre Dame beats Georgia, Penn State wins. Notre Dame is a 1.5 point favorite against Penn State. If Georgia wins and Penn State advances, Georgia's a 1.5 point favorite against Penn State. Pretty much Vegas is saying Georgia, Notre Dame, Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas. Not much separation between those 6 teams.
Yeah, yeah, it could
That's
go
pretty
really
much
any
what
way.
Vegas is saying.
Yeah,
And like right now, if you are Penn State, I think you're kind of licking your lips. Notre Dame and Georgia, you're hoping they beat each other up. If you're Texas, you are begging for Oregon and Ohio State to just ram into each
pummel
other
each
over
other.
and
Yeah.
over and just have guys out. Like that's where I think the Texas Penn State odds are kind of like baked in.
It's also where we kind of need reseeding to now actually happen because like that should have an impact. But oh well,
Well, this round there would be no reseeding at all.
there
It's
wouldn't have been
perfect.
anyways.
The one's
Oh,
playing the 8, 5's playing the 4, 6 playing the 3, 2 playing 7. There would be no reseeding for this round. It would be how it was intended.
I guess I'm just more so just forgetting Ohio State was the 8th seed. So like,
Yeah. That's just ridiculous to think about. Like what? The 8 seed? No, but it's just like the only time a double digit seeded team will ever win this tournament is when it's Ohio State or Alabama. That's the only time it'll happen.
yeah,
It'd be
yeah.
great
I
in a
mean,
world where Boise State could do it, but if you're telling me Boise State can beat 4 or 3
hey, look, hey, I
top
know,
ranked teams back to back to back, it's not possible. In
I
basketball, you could
know,
do
I,
it.
I
In
know
football,
you think that Penn State's about to just knock Boise into the dirt, but I know when the game's on, you'll be cheering for Boise. I know you'll
well,
be cheering
duh,
for Boise. I know
obviously.
everybody, it's America's team right now,
Well,
but
I want Arizona State to win. I want Boise State to win. Yes, I do want that.
it's
It's
just
not
not likely.
happening.
It's just not
I
likely.
want that to happen. It's not happening. I want it
Yeah.
though.
I will say though, I do love the fact that Notre Dame and Boise State both have playoff traditions right now. Notre Dame obviously puts names on the back of their jerseys. Boise State, every playoff game I believe that they've played in, or major bowl, I don't know which one it is, but it's always the OG like Blue Mountain State looking orange helmets, orange pants, white jersey, like blue trim, like that's what they're repping to for the playoffs. So just some playoff tradition though. Just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I mean, just in special playoff uniforms. Like personally, I'm a fan of Ohio State heritage stripes, the throwback jersey stripes, but I'm not a fan of the all scarlet. Wear your gray pants. Don't.
Is all Scarlet a playoff tradition? Is that
No,
a
they just did it for
just
the
a
game.
thing?
Playoff
Hmm.
tradition at Ohio State is the throwback stripes.
On the
That's
sides
like
here.
what they do. They didn't do it for this opening round. I believe they announced like Ohio State will not wear their playoff stripes unless they make it to the Natty. And I'm just like, dude, what?
Kind of takes away from the point of it being the playoff
Like
stripes.
my
Then
favorite Ohio State jerseys are the throwback stripes, and they're just like, nope, we're not doing that. It's like, oh, okay, all right.
all right. um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what else you got. That's about all I have.
Yeah. That'll wrap it up for me. Yeah, there's nothing really else specifically to touch on, but yeah, what a
We'll
great
see what
weekend.
happens. It's
Great
gonna
weekend
be
of
a
football.
great weekend of football. It's going to be a great week of football. I believe we have football almost. I'm assuming there's a bowl game on Friday, so I'm guessing we got football every day this week. Um, so it's going to be a nice long week of sporting events for the United States. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, rate us 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on stream at Waterboy Pod. You can follow me and Grant on Twitter at F6 and at Waterboy Grant. We post new episodes every week on YouTube and all podcast platforms. So make sure to subscribe, turn notifications so you don't miss a single episode. We also post exclusive content on Instagram and on TikTok. So make sure to check us out there as well. And with that, see you guys in the next episode. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. Waterboy's out.